some of these agents who do educational applications, scholarship and all of that for people in Nigeria, they will not tell you the truth. And sometimes is that they don't even know. Sometimes they know, but they're not going to tell you because they want to make their money. Telling you is like discouraging you because then you're not going to proceed with payment, so they keep it to themselves. But the truth is that life in Europe, so many other countries, is still not as easy as people make it to be. So the best thing is that when you're moving abroad, go to a country that you know that if worse comes to shove, you can still survive. Because how are you trying to move outside Nigeria? You're going for your master's or bachelor's degree, but then you go to an expensive country. Because how will you survive in a country like Switzerland? How will you survive in a country like Netherlands? How will you survive in a country like Norway? So ideally, I would always recommend and suggest to people that instead of going to this very high price country, go to other countries like France, Spain, Italy. My number one recommendation is usually Italy and Spain because the government has a lot of nice policy that supports immigrants, and also the cost of living in this country is very affordable. Another very good reason is that there's a lot of African immigrants in this country, so you can easily find your way around. The chances of you getting a job in these countries is higher compared to, say, coming to the Netherlands, which is like the worst. I would not recommend if you are struggling, or going to Switzerland, which is also as worse too, or go to Norway, because this country have a lot of things that are stacked against you as an immigrant who is not from the EU. When you finish your university education, you might struggle to get a job, maybe because of language. Language is a very big part of getting a job, a very good job in these countries. Instead of spending 25, 30, 40,000 euros to come to Netherlands, come to Switzerland, or go to Norway, why not go to a cheaper country like Italy, France, Spain? If you have to compare, spending 10,000 euros to go to an affordable country like Italy, Spain, France, as compared to spending 40, 50, 60,000 euros to go to Norway, Sweden, Netherlands, or Switzerland. And at the end of the day, you're not guaranteed to get a job for you to stay. Then all of your sweat, all of your money, all of this effort is wasted. A lot of people do not even know about this. They just think like, I want to travel abroad, I want to go abroad, I'm going to pay my fees. And then they come to these countries, they get stranded, they start looking for it. I see a lot of African students running helter skelter. I've seen that in Switzerland. I've seen that even in the Netherlands. It's very common here in the Netherlands. You see them on TikTok looking for people to give them visa sponsorship jobs because they don't want to leave after spending all that money, time and energy paying for these courses. And I know a lot of people love these countries, Netherlands, Switzerland, Norway. But if I would also recommend, if you really, really want to come to these countries, you want to come to countries like Netherlands, you want to come to countries like Switzerland, or you want to go to a country like Norway, go to Germany instead. I think the only thing that's going to be a little bit of a challenge is when you need to have your proof of fund, which is a block account. And apart from that, Germany has a lot of free universities that you can go for free. If you want to come to these three countries, Norway, Switzerland, Netherlands, and you cannot really afford the living standard here because the financial part is really big, go to Germany. Germany is a very rich country, but the cost of living is easier, and the government has a lot of policies that helps migrants, especially if you're not from the EU. So it's easier for you to adapt, and the economy in Germany is really, really big. So getting a job after your graduation is way more easier as compared to getting a job in the Netherlands, Switzerland, Norway, Sweden. Ideally, if you really want to go to these big countries, go to Germany. Germany is as good as this country, and besides, Germany is so close to these countries. You can even just take a drive. You can drive to this country within 1 hour and you're there. Stop pressuring yourself and do your research to know the countries you are going. Don't just pack your bag and go to these countries, and then when you get there, you spend all your life savings, and at the end of your course, you can get a visa sponsorship job for you to stay in that country. It really breaks my heart when I see students, especially in the Netherlands, who have been here for 2-3 years, done their course, and now they can't get a visa sponsorship job for them to stay. It feels like they've spent and wasted all that 40, 30, 50,000 euros for nothing. So this is my advice if you're coming to Europe for education as an African with no EU nationality.